Good evening. Today is March the 10th, 2021, and welcome to the Board of Appeals meeting. The meeting is now in session. I am now calling the meeting to order. I'd like to do a roll call of our Board of Appeals members attending tonight. And when I call your name, please say aye. Robert Chiswell,
Aye.
Aaron Kotok.
Muted. Aye.
Aye, okay. We also have Gary Young,
Aye.
Emil Yang,
Aye.
and Sarah Yazin.
Aye.
I'd also like to welcome Sarah to her second meeting. I apologize that we've had such a long delay, like 11 months or 12, but welcome back. And thank you for participating in tonight's meeting with our election of officers and also approval of the minutes from April 7th, 2020. And with that, I'd like to move to the second item on our agenda this evening and ask for the election of the officers. At this time, I'd like to ask for nominations for the vice chair. And I'd like to nominate Aaron Kotok for vice chair of Board of Appeals.
Second.
Are there any other nominations? All right, so I'd like to call for a vote in nominating and having Aaron serve as vice chair for the Board of Appeals. All those in favor say aye.
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 Anyone opposed?
Aye.
Aye, okay. The vote passes 6-0. All right. The second item is I'd like to ask for nominations for the chair.
Go ahead and nominate Carol Rieg as chair of the Board of Appeals.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Oh, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? The vote passes 6-0.
Madam Chair, it's probably good for the record to reflect specifically that there was no other call for any other nominations as you did for the vice chair, just to make sure that it's very clear that there was no second nomination.
Okay, so
And if we
For
can
the
do that,
record?
if we can make sure the record reflects that, we should be in good shape. And there's no indication that I can see that anybody would have nominated anybody else. So just making sure we cover it.
thank you, Frank. I think that
And
you captured the
congratulations.
essence for the record. So we will hopefully be able to capture your comments that the slate as presented was presented and in its entirety. Okay, any other comments? All right, okay, so Frank, would it be suffice to say we can now move on to agenda item number 3?
Yes, indeed.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you so
thank
much. Okay, item number 3 is going to be for tonight's agenda is going to be the approval of the April 7th, 2020 minutes. And in order for us to have a discussion, I'd like to call for a motion to pass the minutes.
I'll go ahead and make a
gonna make a
motion that we
motion
approve
that
the
we
minutes
pass them.
of April 7th, 2020. My apologies.
Okay, and I think I heard someone else is speaking too. Can I have a second?
Second.
Okay, thank you, Gary. Thank you, Aaron. Is there any discussion on the minutes? Okay, hearing no discussion, I'd like to call for a vote for the passage of the minutes as presented for April 7th, 2020. All those in favor say, I'd like to call for the vote. It's been a while. So all those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed? Okay, the motion passes. It's very hard to tell, but I would say it was 5-0 for those members that were present at the meeting. All right, let's move on now. Okay, so moving on along here, tonight we have a special exception review. And I'd like to introduce, this will be case, and I will have to put my glasses on for this one. This is going to be case A351, and then it's, it looks like Roman numeral 18 at 109 South Summit Avenue, Rooming House. And at this point, I'd like to ask Caroline Seiden to go ahead and present the case to the board.
Good evening, everyone. This is the 18th biennial review of Rooming House at 109 South Summit Avenue. The applicants come before the board as required by one of the conditions of their approval. They come once every 2 years to renew their special exception. It was originally established in 1988 for five rooms, and we didn't put up the aerial. I was going to put up the aerial. If we can put up page 5 of the packet, just so you can all see where it is. This is just north of the intersection of Frederick Avenue and South Summit Avenue, a couple of doors down from City Hall. And that's 109 South Summit Avenue. It's in the R90 zone. And as I said, this is their 18th review of the property. Included in the packet are a memo from Neighborhood Services Director Kevin Roman that confirms that there are no complaints on the property, no code violations, and they are up to date on their inspections. They're required to do a rental housing inspection every 2 years, and another one is coming up later in 2021. The only change that planning staff is proposing this year is that instead of doing a biennial review, the zoning ordinance permits a review once every 3 years. And since it's been kind of on cruise control, I would say, for a long time, we didn't feel it was necessary to continue the biennial review, and we would propose that they would be required to come back once every 3 years instead of once every 2 years. So there's a change in the draft resolution, change to condition 2, should you all agree with that, that would allow for that to happen. The applicant, unfortunately, is not here tonight. I know the last time we met on this, they also were not here, and there had been some discussion as to whether we could review and approve it without them, and was confirmed that we can, or you can choose not to and ask that should they come back at a later date and testify, but that's all up to you.
Okay, well, we'll handle that during our discussion. Since we don't have the petitioner here this evening, I would like to open it up to the board if there's any questions for Caroline on the application itself, as the packet was presented in the on the website.
So
Since this has been an ongoing.
go ahead, Robert.
Robert, and then Gary.
Since this has been an ongoing situation. Okay, since this has been an ongoing situation that's come before the Board of Appeals, and city staff has found no violations going forward, I don't see, any reason that we should, have to come back again to make Mrs. Reed come before the board.
Okay, thank you. Gary?
How many, this has been approved 18 times?
18 times. The other.
So is
Yep.
that's let's see, so that would be 36 years?
Well, I think at the beginning, they were reviewed once a year, and that changed at some point. So it's not an exact every 2 years. So I think there were some years that it was once at the beginning, more often. So, but it's in 1988. So however many years that is.
Yeah, and the letter from Ms. Reed on page 9 indicates that
33.
it's been 32 years. So, yep, very little has changed.
I would say I agree with Robert. I don't see any reason to delay the vote on this.
But then we'll all just have to get used to saying triennial review.
Triennial.
Do we have any other questions from the board? I do have one question. but I'd like to see, Aaron, did you have any additional comments?
None.
Emil?
None for me. Thank you.
Okay, all right. I think I got everybody at this point. If you could put up the packet page 5 again, and it's the diagram that we just looked at. This is just for, I guess, just for reference, that the back edge, let's say the backyard that's facing, that would go towards 355. I see that, that there's some, is that 355 if you would go straight through the backyards up to the, the other road behind
No,
it?
I think that's Hutton. 355
Peony.
is-
Peony, that'd be
Oh, that's
Peony.
Peony.
Okay.
Okay. My question was going to be if that road was actually 355. I know there's probably some development going on eventually in that general area there. But since that's Peony, I guess Peony or Peony.
Well, I'm not sure if you're asking, if you go,
I'm pointing to my
yes.
screen.
So, it's hard. So the property is outlined in red. And if you go south of the property, where it is a very wide road, that is 355.
Oh, that's 355.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see now. It makes more sense. I can see the 355 there. Okay.
And you're
Yeah,
correct.
I guess my question was, okay, I see where all the lights are and everything. I guess my question is, with the development coming forth, I don't think it would be any impact at all. I think Planning Commission would have handled the impact on the neighborhood of the development going on 355 in that general area. But if there were any additional comments that could be related to this application, I'd be interested to hearing from staff if there is. I just want to rule out that there would be no impact to this particular matter, since we'll probably be coming back to it in 3 years, and that build out development probably will have taken place by then. I put
Well,
it as probably.
it's hard to comment because there's no plan or application for us to respond to, but
Okay.
any new development that comes into the city would have to take into account their surrounding area and relationship to that location. And of course, Mrs. Reed would have the ability as a neighbor to comment on the effects of any future development on her property. Since she's, an existing property owner, and this would be something new coming in. But it's hard to say what that effect would be, since we have no application and we don't know what's coming.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Caroline. I appreciate that. Okay. Before I close out just this portion of the meeting tonight, and then we'll go into our additional discussion if necessary regarding this application. So thank you, Caroline, for your presentation. Do we have anybody actually presenting additional testimony for tonight's meeting? I don't see anybody attending, so I just wanted to say there was no testimony presented from other parties.
Yeah, we have not heard from anybody that was planning to attend.
Okay. And so I understand that this is just a review, that there is no official record, so there's no need to close the record at this time.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Caroline. So now we'll go into the further board discussion regarding the draft and review of the resolution as presented. Do we have any additional questions regarding this application that's been before the board 18 times?
No, not here.
Okay. Okay, my only question that I did have, I wanted to see if this is a full house, if Miss Inez actually has a full house of 5 boarders all the time. That would be my only really question.
I don't have a ready answer to that myself.
Okay. Okay, and that's, and I don't think that'll delay us with the passage of the resolution. It's just a question to see if she's fully occupied on a regular basis for the boarding house.
Carol, knowing her for as long as I have, she usually is at full capacity. As she also has her and her son have a hair salon also on the property, so they're
Okay, I think that's, thank you, Robert, for your comment and also observation too, so thank you. Okay, that was.
lots of cars up there.
Okay, okay, thank you so much. Do we have any other comments regarding this special application, special exception review in front of us this evening? Okay, if not, I will now ask for, let me see here, we just have to go here. I guess we have to present the resolution, and we'll have to have a motion to approve or deny the application and the resolution. Caroline, I'm just going to ask, are those two separate votes?
You can
For
do
the
it
application?
all at once, and if anybody that's going to plan to make a motion wants to use the language in the staff recommendation on the front page of my staff analysis, that's kind of all we need.
Do you need a packet page for that? It might be good to put that up on the screen there.
We can do that.
Is that packet page 7?
That is packet page 4.
4, okay. There we go.
So-
all right.
I guess it's on 7 also, or it's on 8 also, but that's
Okay,
good
yeah,
enough.
That's fine. This works. All right, so I'd like to call for a motion for the approval of the application and the resolution. So I'd like to call for a motion. So I need a board member to read the staff recommendation here as a resolution, make a motion for this resolution in front of us under staff recommendation.
Okay,
I
not
forgot
the
my glasses, sorry.
Yeah, it's small print there. But I'll make a recommendation. I can read it. I recommend that, going by what the staff recommends, that the Board of Appeals, based on the exhibits submitted, the applicant's testimony and the staff report findings and recommendation, grant an extension of special exception A351, finding it in compliance with code 24-189 of the city code with 10 conditions.
And I'll need a second.
Second,
Do we have any further discussion on this special exception? All right, I will then call for
None
the
here.
vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
aye,
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay. All right, hearing 5 ayes and 0 opposition, the vote, the resolution now passes on a vote of 5-0. 5 yes, 0 no's. All right, so that brings a close to that portion of the meeting. And so it's from the staff, Caroline, or first I'd like to recognize Caroline and see if there's anything, and then I'm gonna follow it up with Frank and Greg.
No, the only thing is that our next meeting is April 14th, and I think that we will actually be meeting again. So that's very exciting, and hopefully we're getting back into a mode where we see each other more often. But I'm glad, it's nice to see everybody.
Thank
That's
you,
all I have.
Caroline. Thank you. And any additional comments from Frank Johnson?
No, I don't have anything, but thank you.
You're welcome. And Greg Mann, any additional comments?
Nothing for me tonight. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any additional comments from our board itself? All right, hearing none, I call for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Granted, this meeting is now ended and adjourned.